Okay, looks like we're back. I had my mother and father-in-law drop off a filing cabinet, so now I'm back. So now we're exporting this file as a PNG. I want to make sure I put it in the right place. There we go. Okay. All right. Bigger. You will blow this up a little bit. At that. Okay. Now we're gonna grab information real quick. Cool. This. And a little bit, if you're seeing these down here, that's just something that Illustrator does sometimes. I don't know why it does that, but sometimes it does, and they're not actually there. Okay, so now I've made all the graphics for this week, all the typography, and now I'm going to close this out. No, I don't want to change. No, that's from the last stream. And yes, because I like how that looks, and I don't know what's changed. Okay. Now, we're going to open, I don't know why that's up. We're going to open up Premiere Pro. My computer sometimes takes a little while to open things up. There it goes. Good, 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 good. Sometimes it takes it a while. Go. So now we're going to open up a recent Thomas template. And this should have the graphics that we just made in here. Let's see. Yep. Yep. Sweet. Cool. And this. Yep. Now we're just going to render this in to out. A lot of times with something like this, like for example, the way I have this set up is a lot of this repeats. So like here to here repeats, here to here repeats, here to here repeats, here to here repeats. So when it says it's going to take like a minute and a half for it to render, that might not always be the case. All it has to do is render this block of yellow, because all these are the exact same, and it knows that. So as soon as it renders this, then you get all of it. So you can keep that in mind whenever you're exporting something, if you have something copied. Now if you don't, yeah, we'll have to render each and every one of these little sections, but not if they're repeated. And the reason that you want to render before you go to exporting is because you can use what are called preview files, which this creates. And it speeds up your export time by a considerable amount, so I would recommend always doing this. And this is a program called Adobe Premiere CC 2017. So, just so you know. And then there's that playing. It lets me know that it's finished. I always check. Sometimes this doesn't make it in for some reason. We have it. And then also what's important to do is to put our copyright information in the end. And we have that in as well, along with the logo. This is through the company that I talked about in the last stream, that I have a company that does graphic design work. This is that company that I started. Some of the work I do for that. Now, I will go into all of this setup later. This is actually due today. So I'm trying to hurry and finish this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and export media. You need to make sure you have your sequence selected whenever you go to export media. Should bring up, yeah, the export window. We want to make sure we have use previews checked, import. We don't want to import into project checked. Use maximum render quality, and we've already matched the source with what it's supposed to be. Next thing we need to do is just make sure that the naming convention is correct. And for this, it will be that. That's the way that they prefer the files to come in, so that's the way I name them. And now, all you have left to do is export. And once this is finished, you'll know how long it takes. I'm actually probably going to stop the stream after this because it's like 30 minutes of waiting, and I'm not going to talk for 30 minutes. I'm actually going to go downstairs and see family that's here. So, as soon as we know the time, I'll be out of here. It might actually only be less, something like 8 minutes, since I didn't really change much. Yep, so you can see it's kind of hovering around that 7-minute and 40-second mark. So, it'll slow down once it hits something else. Some of the graphics that I imported into the scene. So we're actually probably looking around 8 minutes here. So with that said, that's been this stream. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now, and I'll see all of y'all in the next stream. Later.